Couple discovers a hidden place in Greenland that has an unpleasant past. But before we start, please make sure to subscribe to M&R TV and hit the bell so you never miss any upload from us. Also, leave a like right now. What if one day you decided to travel a place which may seem like an ordinary place to you, but the moment you step there, you stumble upon something extraordinary? And not only that the whole place is filled with amazing and unbelievable things, you might say that's not even possible. But before you step on any conclusion, we have a story of this guy and his wife who went to a backpacking trip in southeastern Greenland where they found such a place that baffled both of them and the world when they shared the pictures on social media. This guy, who goes by the name Canada Speedo Man on Imager, took a backpacking trip with his wife, came across a place of wonderland. Like, how was it even possible that both of them actually found the place that stayed hidden for years? This couple was destined to find this place. They started the exploration of the place and found out a lot of things about the place. So what was this place they found? You'll know soon. This couple has been traveling the world for many years. They both loved traveling, and this was one of those things that made them really happy. But this trip was a life-changing experience for the couple because this was the first time their trip turned into an adventure. They wouldn't have imagined that this trip, of which they didn't give much thought, would change their lives forever. That area was both amazing and creepy at the same time. The location where they went was in a very remote location far away from human civilization. Except for this couple, there was no soul to be seen in the area that was giving the couple chills. It was the very first day of the trip, and they were already feeling a little weird, so they decided to leave the place as it was about to get dark. They went back to the place where they didn't feel alone. After seeing people on the roads, their mind was finally at peace. They felt like that place was forcing them to leave as soon as possible. The couple wanted to know more about the place that was both scary and intriguing at the same time. It's human psychology: when something is out of our reach, then we want it even more. The same happened with that couple who wanted to know more about that out-of-reach location. What was the story behind the location that made it so creepy? Why didn't locals visit the place? They found out everything about it. And what is the best option when you want to know more about the place? Talk to the locals. The next day, the couple, who had no idea what they were going to do next, stepped out to inquire about the place they saw yesterday that made them really terrified. They talked to one of the locals and asked him about the place. Surprisingly, even he knew nothing about it, as he has never been to that place. It was very weird for the couple to hear that coming from a local. They needed to talk to someone who was more informative about the place. If you really want to know the history of the area, then you should ask the people of that area. They have seen the major changes in the place compared to others. Being a tourist, you have the advantage as people are always ready to help the strangers. The couple then told this one man everything and how they found the place. The couple wanted to know more about the place, and they heard some really scary stories that made them more and more intrigued. According to the local, who had no idea about the place this couple was talking about, but he started talking about the place which he knew. Surprisingly, it was the same place. Like two children, the couple heard the story of the place from that old man's mouth. He told them that there was a reason why nobody visits that place anymore. He said it was haunted. The old man said the place was haunted, and that's why no one dares to step foot there. But was it even true? Was the place really haunted? To know for sure, they had to visit the place again. The couple still remembers the feeling they felt for the first time they walked in the area. The couple had some doubts, but the curiosity took them over, and finally they decided to go there again. The old man heard what this couple was talking about, but he said that whatever you decide, please make sure that you don't go to the place after sunset. The couple was now really worried, but they had to see what that place exactly was. Was it really haunted, or was it all just a myth? The only way to answer these questions was to go to the place and find out about it. The couple made their decision, and the next day they were on their way to that same place. Back in the past, Iketek was a small village that had only 12 homes. One could only reach this place with the help of a boat. Due to its remote location, the population saw a drastic change until no one was left. With time, the village was left abandoned and no one ever saw this place again. To date, one can spot these old broken houses in that area which are really spooky. But then it was time to solve the mystery behind this place, which was left abandoned, but for what reason? As we already told you, that the only way to reach the place was by boat, there was another way, and this was the same path that was discovered accidentally by this couple. Though it was longer than the sea route, they wanted to investigate the place properly, and what's better than walking to the place slowly and looking around the place slowly and carefully? The couple soon would find themselves in the middle of chaos. They had no clue when this backpacking trip had turned into a haunting adventure. The couple started their adventure, and after looking around, they found the route that they had discovered by accident. They could see some footprints, and after looking at them closely, those footprints turned out to be theirs. At that very moment, they realized that it was the same path that led them to the most interesting and haunting place on the earth. The couple was ready to go ahead. They looked at each other. Both of them looked excited and pale at the same time. What happened when they started their journey? The couple was walking down the same path that they discovered by accident. For a while, there was nothing that spiked their heartbeats, but it didn't take them long to realize what this place actually was. The couple was taking pictures, and it was then they noticed something weird in one of the pictures they took. There's a limit to which you can zoom in the camera, and because of that, the picture was blurry, and they had no other choice but to go to that spot and see it by themselves. In that one picture, the couple spotted a broken bridge a little far from where they were standing. They looked back and realized it was really far away, and they needed to see why there was a broken bridge in the middle of nowhere. After taking photographs of the present spot, they moved further to investigate that bridge. It was so far they decided to rest a little and start the journey after an hour. Soon they would find the truth about this mysterious place that stayed hidden from the world for decades. The couple was resting at the broken bridge, which they spotted in one of the pictures was a little far from the place they were. The guy started playing with little stones that were spread all over the place. For a moment he stopped and was looking at them. But to his surprise, the place wasn't filled with only small stones, but there were small iron pieces too. These small rusty pieces of iron looked exactly like small rocks and weren't easily noticeable. But the couple knew that this place is something else entirely. This place is not what it looks like. Then what was this place? Why was it left abandoned? What's with the small iron rock-shaped pieces? You'll find out soon. The couple started their journey to the broken bridge. As they were walking towards it, they were surprised to find lots of things there. Most of the items were made of iron, and because of the oxidation process, the items were all rusty and difficult to read. The couple didn't dare to touch any of them, mostly because they had no idea what these items were. Their main focus was to reach the bridge as soon as possible. The sun was ready to rest, and it wouldn't be long before it got dark. They need to hurry up because what if the place was really haunted? The couple increased their pace and reached the bridge, and their mouth was wide open. The sight was really unbelievable. Not only was there an old rusty broken bridge, but the place was also filled with numerous big cans. What was this place? The couple had no idea what they were in the middle of. They started exploring the area, and then they found something about the place that changed everything. They were able to solve the mystery behind this place. They for sure knew what this place actually was. While the couple was investigating the area, they noticed something written on one of the cans that were lying in the area. They weren't able to read the whole text as it wasn't clearly visible. The text they read was Bluey, which made no sense to them. First they thought it wasn't Bluey but Blue. They were wrong about that. It was actually Bluey. And there was a reason they couldn't understand the term because it was incomplete. There were other two words which had faded with time. So what were the two other words? The guy took out his cell phone and surprisingly his phone was showing 2 network bars. He searched the term Bluey, and the first thing that came up on the screen was Bluey East 2. In the description about the term, there was written World War II. The couple couldn't believe that they were actually standing in the spot which was used in World War II. After more research, the couple found out everything about the place. The mystery was finally solved, and they realized that it wasn't the place that was haunted, but the events that took place in the past that still haunts us. So miles away from Ecatec, there was a place known as Bluey East 2. During World War II, this place was used by the United States Air Force Airfield. The couple was right about one thing: this place had a history. With time, people forgot about this place, which was then left abandoned in the middle of nowhere. Nobody came back to this place because of an obvious reason: nobody wanted to live in a place that was filled with the horrors of World War II. The couple then spotted several other things too that was really incredible. World War II took place between 1942 and 1947, and this place, Bluey East 2, was used as a refueling station for the planes that were used in World War II. This place was a stop for the planes that traveled from the United States to Europe. This place fulfilled one and only one purpose, which was to give the plane its fuel so that these planes could fly to fulfill their one sole purpose: destruction. There were lots of stuff still scattered around in the area, and local people who found the place took some of the items which they thought could be useful to them. But then only a few might have found this place by accident, just like this couple. The locals might have taken the items by foot or by boat because there was no other way. They weren't able to carry the heavy stuff as it wasn't physically possible because the route back to the city was really far. The big barrels that this couple spotted were actually barrels of fuel. The couple was surprised to see that there were some barrels that still had fuel inside them. It seemed like this place was left as it is when the war was over. After the war was over, this place was abandoned because they had no use of this place. Everybody left the place, and this place was forgotten, leaving the stuff and the haunted memories behind. Including the fuel barrels, there were old radio towers too, though they weren't standing tall as they did once in the past. These towers were resting on the ground because their purpose of existence was fulfilled. These towers were located near the airstrips and were used by the pilots to communicate with air traffic controllers. The couple was smart enough to capture the images, and this image is the remains of one of the bulldozers which was used to build Blue East 2. These bulldozers might have been huge in size, as their tires need to be big in size so that the rocky terrain could be navigated. To explore such an area, the driver had to be very talented and cautious. This is a picture of a soldier in front of the built barracks that were there in the same place where this couple was standing. You can see several large houses that were built for the troops that were posted there. Many of the soldiers waited there for the war to finally be over. After the war ended, the troops happily returned back to their home, leaving the place abandoned for years until this couple found it by accident. This is how this place looks today, scattered all over with houses in pieces. It's really hard to imagine that this place was filled with brave soldiers, and today, this place has nothing except old stories to tell of the horror that followed after World War II. This place's condition is an example that proves what a disaster World War II would have been. So many lives were lost that not only brought devastation to the families of the soldiers, but to the world also. In Bluey East 2, they also found an old truck that was used to transport barrels of fuel from one place to another. Surprisingly, even after so many years, this truck was in slightly good condition. This truck was 60 years old, and like all other things they found in that area, there were other things too that were there that made the couple look for more, and they didn't leave the place until they had seen it all. Canada's Speedo Man and his wife also found this old furnace that was used to heat the hangar. During World War II, the airstrip worked day and night, without a stop in between, and to fight the harshest temperatures of Greenland, this furnace was used by the soldiers in order to keep them warm during winter months. Greenland is not very human-friendly, and people struggle really hard in winters for survival. One of the most interesting things that this couple found in that place was this old radio transmitter. Seeing technology from that area is something worth capturing. These things are really valuable when being sold in the right market to the right person. This radio might have been used to transmit several orders around the globe or directly speaking with the pilots on the plane. The couple also found thousands of small glass pieces from old Coca-Cola bottles. Coke must have been the special beverage for the soldiers during their free time. It's good to see that our brave soldiers didn't forget to enjoy their times away from home, waiting for World War II to end. They would have thought about the good old days of them sitting in their home enjoying cola with their family and friends. This place was filled with memories and emotions. This couple was living it all. This photograph is a real image of the airstrip that was present there in World War II. You can actually see a plane about to take off the runway, and must have been heading for Europe as most of the planes did. This base was filled with planes coming and leaving the camp as per the orders from the above. We just can't imagine the schedule of this place, like soldiers working day and night because war doesn't stop for anybody. This image is the present image of the airstrip, and there is no sign of the airstrip that has now been covered with rocks and metal pieces. This place was the one base that held the capacity to land planes of any size. This was the busiest route between the United States and Europe during World War II. As it was located in a very remote location, this place would have stayed hidden from the enemies, who must have tried to find its location. The fact that this place could only be reached by boat becomes more interesting when the couple found out that this only for a few months. Back then, if you wanted to reach or move out of the location, it was not possible every month. A few months were marked for that, and the rest of the year this place was totally out of anybody's reach. Looking at this place in Ikatek, Greenland, makes us wonder how this place once was a functional airstrip filled with large aircraft and brave soldiers working day and night for their beloved country. Because this place is not easily accessible and transporting the remains from this place is not that easy, it seems that this place would stay like this for many years, and there would be some other people to whom this place might speak and tell them its true story. The place is not haunted. All it has is a haunted past.